Good. So before actually going to our this topic 6.1, let's revise about sin, cos, and tan. Very first thing that you need to remember that if, for example, we have a sin x and cos x, these are two trigonometric functions that are the main basic functions. Main basic trigonometric functions. So, first thing. The second thing is that all other trigonometric functions are related to sin cos. For an example, that we have a tan x. This tan x is also derived one from sin x divided by the cos x. You see that the tan is also derived by the ratio of sin and the cos. So the basic function is sin and cos. The second thing that we need to actually keep in our mind when we will be solving trigonometric questions, that when I say that sin is a trigonometric function, so this is actually itself sin. If I write sin, this is nothing. Okay, until you apply it on the value of an angle. Okay, when you will apply this sin function on an angle, you will get a number. You will get a number. That number must be a unitless number. It is just a number. Okay, and it is similarly for cos and tan. Then the next thing is the inverse function. Inverse function. So when I say the inverse function, that means that the sin inverse of some value n. So now this value will actually result in the value of an angle. So that what will be the value of angle. Now when I say inverse of the number, so this is actually an inverse function. So we also write it as arc of sin of some number that goes to the value of the angle. Okay. Now, here we can also actually understand about the inverse of a number. For example, if I have x, its inverse is 1 over x, or we can say inverse of the x, meaning the power of x is -1. Now, if we write it that this sin inverse of x, you see what I said, the sin inverse of x. So it means it is arc sin of some number x. This is x is a number, not the angle. For example, like this. But if, for example, I write that the sin x and its inverse. So now this means 1 over sin x. Okay?
And when you...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, so when it's sine to the power of -1x, it doesn't mean the inverse of x, or it does mean the end?
This means inverse function. So this means that it is the inverse of this number. Inverse of this number. Okay? Now, let me give you an example. Then we can understand.
It means the same thing, or it doesn't?
No, they are entirely different. So let me actually give you an example. Example is that, for example, if I have sin 30 degrees, answer is 1 over 2. Okay. Now, if I would say the sin inverse of 1 over 2, because this is 30 is the angle, 1 over 2 is a number. Now we are applying the sin inverse of 1 over 2. The answer will be 30 degrees. Okay. Now, if I would say that what is sin 30 and this is the angle, and here it is inverse. So this 30 is an angle, not a normal number. So the answer will be 1 over sin 30 degrees. So this we know, sin 30 is 1 over 2. 1 divided by 1 over 2. Answer is 2. Got it?
Yes.
So here, this is a inverse function. This is a inverse function. So this function itself has been inversed. What here, this is just the inverse of a number. So it was some number x, and then we just took its inverse to make it 1 over x. Got it? Yes. So then when we say the inverse of a function, for example, I have a function, and that function is y is equal to mx plus c. Now I am going to look at it, that what will be the inverse function of this here. The way is change y into x and x into y. So meaning that actually the graph was here it was the x-axis, here it was the y-axis, and we were understanding this graph with you could say the x independent variable and y dependent. But now if you shift your dependent variable into independent, what would happen? This will be our new function. Now you can rearrange it as the y. So y will be equal to x minus c divided by m. So now this new function y is equal to x minus c over m is an inverse function. It is an inverse function. So meaning that now you are actually looking your function with respect to this y is an independent variable. Got it?
Yeah.
What?
So
exactly.
Probably not even relevant, but so y and x would switch on the graph.
Because we are going to get an inverse function.